Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are once again watching Astroteric TV. I'll be your one and only host, the Astro Guru, and I'd like to welcome all of God's children. Now, I have a concept I'd like to bring you all, okay? Stick with me for this. I call it the museum concept, all right? Now, this is why I call it the museum concept. If you know what a museum is, that is where they have things, be it a dinosaur museum, be it the planetarium, be it the aquarium. These are all museums in their entirety. Now, you go to these places to see things and learn about things that you normally wouldn't be able to just access in your every single day life, or to have a hands-on experience with the things in the museum, be it art, no matter what it is. Now, use your brain, or rather treat your brain as if it's a museum. For this analogy, we'll stick with an art museum because art is a thing of beauty. So, treat your mind as if it is an art museum. Now, being the owner of this art museum, you don't want to display bad paintings, do you? No. So, when receiving negative energy from a person, right? Because we're treating our minds as if they're an art museum. So, I want the way that I look at everyone, or rather, I like everyone's picture in my art museum to be beautiful. When I say this, I am telling you to purposely negate a being's flaws, okay? This is something that we all know that we have, flaws. So let's not focus on the flaws. Let's acknowledge the flaws. Let's know that they're there, but let's not spotlight the flaws. So, back to the museum. I do not care if you have been a bad person to me. That is not the story I'm going to continue to tell people, because then I will be playing victim, meaning this person has so much control over me that there's nothing I can do about my own life and my own decisions. It's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is leave the ugly with you, and I'm going to go on to tell beautiful stories about you, be them true or not. These are my opinion, this is my experience with you, and this is my choice to focus on the good that I either got out of the situation or experienced in the situation. Because there's a silver lining in every gray cloud, isn't there? So, let's not focus on how angry you were. Let's not focus on how much of a liar you were. Let's just focus on either what I received, which was, okay, yes, maybe this person is a liar, but I learned more about why a person may be a liar. Meaning, I upped my intelligence. Let's focus on that. Or, this person may not have been so loving, but I also learned what it takes to become loving, or I've learned why a person may not be so loving. And in turn, I learned how to deal with people that are not so loving. Sometimes you gotta love them until it's comfortable for them to love. Understood? So now, back to the museum. I'm gonna place, let's just say, no matter who it is, all right? if I want to take Mike Tyson, for example, I'm not gonna go put the picture of Mike Tyson in my museum of him getting beat up. I'm not gonna put the Buster Douglas fight. That's just one of his fights. I wanna spotlight the fact that he was the baddest man on the planet for so long. I don't want to talk about the shortcomings because I cannot learn much from your shortcomings but how to fail. Or why you failed, in which that could help me win. But that would say that you've never won. If you've won, I should be focused on how you won versus how you lost. We get what we pay attention to. So if you pay attention to a bunch of losers, you're going to lose. Understood? Now, to the next. If I want to pick Muhammad Ali, I'm not going to pick Muhammad Ali losing to Larry Holmes. I'm going to pick the Rumble in the Jungle, where it was said Joe Frazier would beat my boy up. He definitely rung his bell, but he didn't win that fight. So I need to see what it took for this man to overcome the naysayers, the doubters, and things like that. That is what I would like to implement into my life. How to overcome a situation instead of everything I'm gonna undergo. So, now, back to the museum. In my mind, in my mind's eye, yes, I do know who's done me wrong, and I do know why they did it. It's not much that people do negativity for. We'll call that negativity instead of evil in this. But there's not much that people do negativity for. People who are normally negative are being negative and committing negative acts to get out of negativity, not understanding that if you push out negativity, that's what you're gonna get back. So if you're stuck in a situation, you got yourself stuck there. Figure out how you got yourself stuck there, get yourself out. There's something you keep doing that you should stop doing. Simple and plain. You got to figure out what it is. It's not for me to help you. I do this because I want to, not because I have to. So, and in 2026, I will probably not be doing this much on YouTube. I will be doing this more in person. Okay? So, if you'd like to meet up, have a talk, have a chat, I got apps coming out for you and all of that. So you'll be able to talk to me directly. There will not be an AI assisted app. Like, no, I don't need AI to answer the question for you. Oh, if you want to do that, there's many of apps that AI you can download the app, ask AI the question, and take AI's answer with a grain of salt, or just believe the AI. I, however, come with emotions. I come with a feeling. I come with experience. I come with intellect that AI cannot provide you. Understood? So, if you'll trust the AI, I would suggest you find a person to trust, seeing as person created AI. Understand? This goes back to going to the horse's mouth, to get it from the horse's mouth, from the source. Now, back to the museum. In your museum, these are not only celebrities that they're going to be there. These are going to be family. There's going to be friends. If you have to hang a bad painting, meaning there's nothing good to say about this person, completely remove their artwork from your museum. So, me personally, I don't like to talk about family. Only because I don't have one. There's nothing for me to tell you. I can tell you my experience with what I had as a family. I can tell you my experiences with people whom I thought would be like, oh yeah, that's my family. Like, oh, that's my family. But I can also tell you about why I no longer call anyone family like that. few that know that they're my family, I apologize if you feel excluded from me. There's a reason why I do not tell people about you. To protect you, okay? I don't tell people what I care about deeply, because the second they find out I care about something deeply, they try to go hurt it, hoping that hurting that would hurt me. But fortunately for me, I know that from the dirt we all came, so back to the dirt we all have to go, which is why I keep a beautiful mind. Because should at any given moment my number get called, I'm not walking through the gates with a bunch of malice, a bunch of resentment, a bunch of regret, or a bunch of hatred. It's like, yo, we played a beautiful game of ball on earth. We did our best, and we met some beautiful people out there. But hey, it's time for me to hang the jersey up, baby. Like that's how my life goes. That's how I decide to live my life. So there's also a part of acceptance that your museum should include. Your museum should include the fact that whether that person accepted who they were or not, sometimes what happens is you have a better image of a person in your head than they have of themselves, which will keep a person visiting your museum, because it makes them wonder, why does this person think so highly of me? Not understanding, no, you think highly of yourself too. Your actions just haven't been playing into the higher version of you. So you feel as if I'm telling beautiful lies about you, and no, you just don't hold yourself to the same standard that I do. I've seen glimpses of you being your best version. You just didn't feel like you could stay there, or you felt like it's too hard to maintain. But anything that you continuously do over time, which the word for that is practice, becomes perfect. So if you touch your highest version one time out of this year, next year you should be trying to touch it twice, maybe 3 times, maybe once a month. Then you can be like, well, I may not be my higher self all the time, but I went from touching my higher self one time this year where I felt like nothing in my life could be better. Or even if my life got better, it felt like it would just be matching my inside, which I felt like life is wonderful, right? So now, with that being said, the more you touch your higher self, the more you'll see other people's higher self, and you can redecorate your museum. So remember that story that you told about how this guy cheated on you and this, that, and the third, and he just wasn't the one for you? You'll remove that painting once you find your happiness, and you'll say, you know what? Me and this person, we had a little crazy relationship, but I'm not gonna lie, I learned a lot from it. And I see that person doing better, I see me doing better, or you get to analyze, compare and contrast without being malicious. You get to understand that, okay, when this person left me, or when me and this person parted ways, you'll know what it took to balance yourself back out. Yo. Yes, sir. Nah, that's downstairs. It's up right next to the bed.
I said, okay, that must not down.
I said, oh, yeah, it should be right there, right in the bed. But yeah, so what happened is you'll find your happiness, or back to the relationship aspect, when you part ways, you'll be able to say, all right, this person wasn't holding me back. I was holding myself back for this person. Now, however you justify that in your mind, whether they were holding you back and I had to get rid of them so I could do better, or that this person had too much, of a hold on you, so you had to let them go so that you can do better, you'll come to understand, one, what it takes to control you, you'll understand the hold that you have on other people, and you'll also understand how to not have that hold. Like, when I say that, I mean because some people go out their way to like, oh, I can control this person, I can manipulate that person, or that person not going nowhere, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Some people like that. I don't like that. If I see that when I met you, you was the type of person to go to work 6 days out the week, but now that me and you are together, you only want to go to work 3 days out the week. If I cannot replace those extra 3 days that you used to work to keep you maintaining a certain status and level, because anytime you get with a person, you should be doing better. 2 brains are better than 1. If we're not progressing yet we're together, I am going to cut you off. Not only so that I can do better, so that you can get yourself together, because obviously it's not happening with me. Understood? And that doesn't mean that anybody's bad just because it didn't work out. Sometimes things are incompatible. Understood? It's just simply incompatible. You don't think the way that I think. You want to run the show. I don't like being controlled. We have no common ground to build on. Understood? Somebody's got to say, you know what? I liked being the CEO when I was over there, but I was only the CEO over there because I knew the most in the room. I knew how to handle, this, that, and the third situation. Over here, well, if that person's the CEO, I can go be the janitor. I can go sweep and mop. You don't have to have me give up. I don't have to sit there and be involved in every responsibility anymore. Why? Because there's someone else who is efficient at that. I can let that person run the show now. I'll go make sure that, the show runs properly in other ways. Understood? In a small, in the micro, we'll call it giving the reins up. So basically, you're in charge. All right, perfect example. If you've watched football before, you've seen a coach will get fired. The team will not have a new head coach. They have this thing called interim. Interim, meaning you're the coach for now until we find someone else. Spot filler. I do not advise you do this in relationships, but if done, it should be done with a certain level of discretion, which is why people lay everything out on the table. Hey, my boyfriend or my husband is in jail right now, and I would love to be faithful to him. However, I'm not exactly sure how that situation is going to go, so I'll meet you. But instead of telling you, hey, I got somebody that's in jail, and when he comes home, he's going to expect me to be, there for him. I jump head and over heels in a situation with you. My actual love makes it back to, the crib, to the house where they're supposed to be. And now I'm torn in between the two. Well, guess what? That person that was in jail wasn't allowed, or they didn't have the space to start a new relationship. Meaning, all they were hoping and praying on was you. They put all their eggs in one basket. While they was thinking, when I get out, I'm gonna go back to this. There was nothing for them to go back to. So, for you who was trying to hold 2 people, when you went here, you lost here. Now, hopefully, the person that you went to doesn't have another situation, or doesn't have the same emotional intelligence as you. Because guess what? They're gonna leave you for an opportunity, knowing that you left your opportunity for them. They're not gonna see you as someone that they can build anything with, because guess what? The story that you painted about that art in that museum, about that person that is over here, it wasn't a true story. You just painted the image of, this person, this person, this person, this person, because they wasn't there to defend themselves. Now, you're going to have to face that truth at some point in time. Understood? With that being said, you leave the opportunity that you built for something else. You didn't build there. So you cannot dictate what goes on in that person's museum. I don't care how good you are to them. If their image of you in their head is, they left a good person to come fuck with me, you're no longer a good person in their head. Understood? You just evened out the fact that I ain't shit. You ain't shit either, because I seen what you did to them. Like, understood? I believe Drake said it when he was saying what was the words? Take it easy on me. I seen how you did, I seen how you did the last nigga. Like, for me, don't do me like that. Like, which is why I stay single. I know you're gonna try to do me like that because my whole aura says, don't do me like that. Some people want to see the consequence versus I want to see how much I can avoid the consequence. How good am I to avoid the consequences? Some people pride themselves on me. I've been to jail a million times. It's nothing. Another person's like, yeah, I've never been to jail though. Like, I'm not trying to go. Like, is that something you glorify? Which is why some people glorify toxicity. Now, it doesn't mean that anybody's right, wrong, good, bad. It just means that we have two different likings. So 9 times out of 10, if you like toxicity, there's someone that likes peace. Doesn't mean that you gotta hate them. It just means y'all won't be able to coexist in the same area for too long. That's it. If you see, when I'm in my space and when I'm doing my things that I like to do, it's hardly ever anyone around me. It's because I don't need you or your energy messing up my feng shui. You feel me? Don't mess up my museum. I want to look at you as a beautiful person. Don't go out your way for me to try to start painting bad paintings. Otherwise, before I go telling people the worst about you, I'm just going to remove the painting and act like I do not know you. I'm going to go find someone else to hang a painting up of that's beautiful. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen.